Dramatic impact on the lives of thousands of people, men and women accused of child abuse, on the word of young children. When children tell stories of being sexually abused by adults, should we believe them? There's now convincing scientific evidence that the answer is not necessarily.
Now, there's no question about it. Some children will always tell the truth, and child abuse is a reality. But what researchers are proving is that some kids can be influenced to make up and then actually believe stories that never really happened. And tonight you'll see this with your own eyes. As John Stossel reports, the findings could change the outcome of sexual abuse cases which rest on a child's testimony.
In Lowell, Massachusetts, Shirley Souza watches while her husband Ray tends his vegetable garden. Looks like a normal suburban scene, but the Souza's life is anything but normal.
There's a half a dozen cucumbers.
My phone's ringing.
Several times a day, the phone rings because the State Department of Corrections wants each of them to face the camera attached to the phone.
Shirley Souza, 285 Princeton Boulevard, Lowell, Mass.
The Souzas are prisoners in their home. They're under house arrest. It's part of the 9 to 15-year sentence they received for molesting their 2 grandchildren. The first charges came in a letter from the district attorney.
I came home from work, and I walked in, and Raymond said, I wasn't going to show this to you, but you better look at it. And I couldn't believe it. When I looked and I read it, I just...
Could you imagine myself or any human being putting your head in a vagina, or sticking toes there, or touching different places, or putting a fist up their anus? It just wouldn't make it. Wouldn't there be some sort of serious damage? Wouldn't you notice right away?
Every year, thousands of people like the Souzas are convicted of child abuse, even though there's no direct physical evidence. They're convicted simply on the word of 4- and 5-year-old kids. Conventional wisdom is that kids that age wouldn't make such things up. They simply don't know enough about sexuality to come up with detailed accounts of sexual abuse. But then Cornell University professor Stephen Ceci read the testimony of some well-known molestation cases and concluded that interviewers had led the kids on by asking suggestive questions. The interviewers could say, how else can we get this information out? Because the kids won't volunteer it.
The problem is that from a research standpoint, we are now discovering that if you put kids who were not abused through the same kind of highly leading, repetitive interview, some of those children will also disclose events that seem credible, but in fact are not born in actuality.
Now, others have suspected this, but Ceci decided to test that theory. He set up an experiment known as the Sam Stone study. He told a classroom full of 4-, 5-, and 6-year-olds that a man named Sam Stone would come to their class and that he was very clumsy. Then the man came in, stayed a few minutes, and left. That's it. He didn't do anything clumsy. Then, 4 times in the next few months, half the kids were asked leading questions about the man's visit.
Do you remember when Sam Stone came to the school and he broke that toy? Did he do it on purpose or was it an accident? Well, he didn't break a toy. So it's highly suggestive, erroneously suggesting questioning.
After that, another interviewer simply asked,
I wasn't there that day, and I want to know everything that happened that day that Sam Stone came to visit. Can you tell me what happened?
This little boy said Sam Stone was reading a book during the visit to the classroom.
He was doing it so fast that he ripped one of the pages.
Really? Did he say...
This girl said Sam Stone threw dolls and books in the air while he was in the class.
Well, when your teacher saw that he was throwing things in the air, what did she say?
Then you need to go.
You need to go?
Yeah, but you keep on ripping our stuff.
Just asking leading questions inspired most of the kids to make stories up.
In real-life cases, though, are the investigators as suggestive as your testers are?
What we do is a pale version of what happens in real cases. It doesn't come close, for example, to what was done in the Kelly Michaels case.
The Essex County Prosecutor's Office says 26-year-old Margaret Kelly Michaels is a manipulative, sadistic child...
Preschool teacher Michaels was convicted of molesting 19 children, molesting them in bizarre ways, and in the middle of this crowded New Jersey school without any teacher or parent noticing anything. She served 5 years in jail until this year when her conviction was overturned by an appeals court that questioned the reliability of the children's testimony.
One day you're getting ready for work, making coffee, minding your business, trying to get along as best you can, being a reasonable, decent, honorable citizen, and the next minute you're an accused child molester with the most bizarre... I had never even heard of such things even being done.
They say you inserted objects including Lego blocks, forks, spoons, serrated knives into their anuses, vaginas,
and a
penises,
sword.
And a sword.
Yeah.
That you made children drink your urine, that you made kids take their clothes off and lick peanut butter off them. It's very hard to believe, yet the jury believed it, and not you.
No one is willing to doubt a child. And I think that's how the state won their case. They didn't have to present a credible case of how it could happen or recreate the scene of the crime or even presenting witnesses, but just they knew they'd send these little children saying, yes, Kelly was a bad person and she hurt me at this school, that no one would dare question that.